Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, agenders and hermaphrodites, Sammy here, welcoming you to another rundown on the latest supercar to hit the GTA 5 scene, the Pfister 811. Pfister? 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 I don't know. So this is the third car to be released in the Finance and Felony update, after the FMJ and the X80 Proto. They're on a bit of a roll lately, Rockstar, aren't they? Releasing cars like a redneck popping out babies in a trailer park. Look at all my little miracles. Funk. Filling up my trailer like a can of sardines. Funk. You know what would be a real miracle? If I could remember your daddy's now. Funk. Guys, I feel like it's going to be a tough gig trying to keep spirits high for this episode. This car has copped a lot of flack since its release, but hopefully I'll be able to shed light on some of its good qualities if I can find some, and try and find some positives out of it. Because honestly, who likes this car? Raise of hands, anyone? A few up the back there, not many. Parzelli, get your crayon out of your ear and put your helmet back on. Alright, class, hands down. So, I kind of dig the look of this car. It's apparently supposed to be a replica of the Porsche 918, if I'm correct. To me, it just looks like a bar of soap and sounds like a party horn, but each to their own, I guess. I am pretty out of touch with modern cars, to be honest. I'm the type of guy who'll see a car in real life and go, oh look, a Massacro! Oh, and there's a Felzer! You know, I used to play a lot of Need for Speed Underground when I was a kid, so I have a pretty good understanding of cars from the early 2000s and the 90s maybe. You know, I did go through a phase of reading my brother's Hot Fours car mags when I was a kid. I never got to see all the supermodel centerfolds though. They seem to be stuck together with some mysterious substance. I guess he thought I was too young to see that stuff, so he glued them together. Anyways, so as you'll have seen in my previous videos, I recently covered the X80 Proto, and I've got to say there's not really a lot of difference between the two. Like, they both understeer really bad, as you can see here. Like, both of us in the first chicane of the corner just completely lost our marbles. And they're just as easy to skip out and oversteer if you're not careful to sort of caress the stick as you turn around corners. They both have ridiculous top speed, but the 811 destroys it in that department, as well as every other car in the game. This thing has unbelievable top speed, and apparently it's got something to do with a bug in the suspension. If there is, I kind of hope they don't fix it, because, you know, if this car doesn't have its top speed, then what does it have? Like, it'd be nothing, it'd be useless. Like, I personally use windscreen wipers to get rid of bugs off my car, but, I mean, I guess Rockstar hasn't thought of that yet. Another thing I accidentally discovered about this car is how good it is at taking out pedestrians. Like, look at that. It does no damage whatsoever. Like, you just plow through them and nothing happens. It's like you can hardly feel it. Hello, ma'am. I'd like to buy this car. If this car drive into group of gypsies, will there be any damage to the car? How fast do I need to go to guarantee I kill gypsies?
Shit.
Hey, bitch, where you going? Come the fuck back here. Stamping its authority. Such power. Sheer ferocity. This car gets an A for alpha. Any fluctuations in the stock market, fellas? What's happening, homies? Seriously, but guys, what's the big deal? I suppose most people are hoping for another car that would compete in the Supers class, which is understandable. But the Supers class is already extremely well balanced. Would another car with the same performance as, say, the T20 and the Osiris really be that exciting? Because for me, I like having different cars for different styles of tracks. And now that I've got the 811, I can sell my Banshee for all those tracks where you're flat stick in 6th gear. And I can sell the X80 because I won't need them for the top end dominant tracks, like dipping in for instance, with only a handful of corners. And, you know, I kind of prefer cars that are difficult to drive too. Like, it feels more rewarding when you can actually control it properly around a track with demanding corners. The 811 is far more realistic than the Z20 or the Osiris, and because of its poor handling, it's made some corners a lot more difficult than they've ever been with any other cars. Like, take these corners on dipping in, for instance. Like, in the past, these corners have been a cakewalk to get through at top speed, but with the 811, you really have to prepare for the corners a lot earlier and be careful to maintain traction. Even when you take a corner cleanly, you can still hear the screeching of the oversteer. Like, the amount of times I was on a screamer of a lap in the mid 201s, I oversteered like this on the very last corner. Like, how often does that happen with other cars? Like, it makes it very difficult when you're actually in a car that it's very hard to control around corners. Like, and again, this chicane right here, I was on another 201, the very last corner, just couldn't do it. This corner, this was my best lap I got. I had a screamer of a lap, then oversteered really bad just at the bottom there, and it ended up being a 202.1. So, you can argue all you like that it's an easy car and you just got to drive straight in it, but the fact is, it's a lot harder to drive, and for me, it makes it a good addition to the class. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to go and grab your kitten and give it a good scratch behind the ear. Or if you're Parzelli, go douse it in kerosene and throw it into a dumpster fire. See you guys!